Hello and good evening. Welcome to today's Oxlab's webcast. And today we're going to talk about something which is very interesting. It's the 7 steps of social selling. And we are going to take you in a nice journey from having great success on LinkedIn to having a better success on LinkedIn. And it's going to be an interesting journey, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy tonight's webcast. So let me start with something which probably you'll be asking, what is it? What are the 4 cogs of LinkedIn's success? Probably if you've attended some of the previous webcasts that we've been doing, you already have learned this. Today we're going to focus on one which is about conversion. And before I go on to that, let me tell you this. Everything on LinkedIn starts with one thing, which is content. Content drives all the cogs. And let me put it into a sort of an easier phrase about this. You do a post, for example, on LinkedIn. Let's say it's me. And you'd go, oh, great post. Who's Vasco? And you'd go from the post to seeing my profile. Then you go, oh, so this is Vasco. And then you'd go, where does he work? Maverick. Who's Maverick? You'll go onto the company page. And then from the company page, you will go sometimes to the website, because there's a little button on the company page that says visit website or know more or info, things like that. And then you'll go onto the website. So that is the normal journey on LinkedIn. But having said that, and by the way, I didn't say who I was. My name's Vasco Botelho, okay? And it's great to be with all of you today, yeah. So, going on this journey, it starts with content. It moves into this sort of engagement and building relationships. And I'll talk about that in a minute, connecting. And then what we're going to focus today, it's on the conversion. How do you turn all this great work you've been doing into converting it into conversations and then into sales? And that's why we all are on LinkedIn, basically. It's to turn this new opportunity called LinkedIn into a sales machine. Now, one thing that we all have done through the ages is we have learned the same ways of doing new business development. What was done 100 years ago, it's still being done today. And that is one of the problems. We, or many of us, are still in the analogical way of doing sales, and we have to move into the digital age. And this means we have to change the way we do things. We have to have another sort of approach to the way we do our daily routine. And this has to become a new way. And this is what I want to show you today. Going back to the 4 cogs that you've got on screen, the first part, as I said, it's about content. Writing content, getting engagement through that content, doing the content sandwich, and becoming a leading thinker. And quickly on that, let me say the content sandwich is, for example, let me put it this way. You go to the pub tonight to chill out. And there you go, you sit down, and here I come, Vasco sits next to you and tells you a great story. You listen to him, we have a laugh, great stuff. Following day, you can do it the same again. And here he comes, he sits down again next to you, tells you a joke, and you have another great laugh. And you enjoy the company of the person. Then, on the 3rd day, on a Wednesday, he tells you another thing about the news, and you both talk about it. Great stuff. On Thursday, the same. But on Friday, when he comes in, when Vasco comes in, he talks to you about Maverick. And because he's been such a great guy during the whole week, you listen to him. You go, hey, why not? Now imagine the opposite. On Monday, you go there and chill out in the pub, and here comes Vasco, sits next to you, and talks to you about Maverick. On Tuesday, you go back to the pub, sit down, chill out, here comes Vasco and talks about Maverick. On Wednesday, he does the same. He talks about Maverick again. And then on Thursday, you know what you're going to do? You're going to kick me out of the pub. because I become boring. And I become a pain. So can you see why it's so important to do the content sandwich? And this is the content sandwich. For example, on Monday, you do an engagement post. On Tuesday, you do a business post. On Wednesday, engagement post. Thursday, business post. Friday, engagement post. And engagement posts can be things like sharing a piece of news from a news website. It can be something about you on Friday going out on the weekend, or the one you do on Monday, what you did on the weekend. Something that engages people. And remember, your posts need to have two things: staying power, okay, but more importantly, it needs to engage. So it needs stopping power. So it needs stopping power and staying power. Moving on, in terms of building relationships and in terms of the engagement, you can do a number of things which we will going to talk about more in the conversion part and in the messaging, which is when people change jobs and when people are promoted, or it's their birthday, or it's the job anniversary. Congratulate all these people on this. Make it personal. You are creating a relationship. And here is another thing. Most of us have a problem with, nurturing relationships, especially in new business development. So nurturing relationships becomes a priority. And you do this by personalizing the messages, by talking about personal things to these people you're nurturing. You're creating a relationship with these people. The other thing is do an endorsement. And endorsements are a great tool to get traction on that relationship. Cultivate relationships. Cultivate the interaction. Then when you go to the connecting on this cog, connect to the right people. People that are within the criteria. Now, I've got some bad news for you. Most of us, 2/3, I would say, of the connections you have probably aren't useful to you anymore. Why? Because when we move from job to job, we carry baggage. And one of the baggages that we carry is connections that are not useful anymore. They were useful where we were before, but not now. Or it's people that are not even active on LinkedIn. They just have, the LinkedIn profile page as a landing page. So you need to grow your connections with the right people within the right criteria. The criteria you need to grow your connections so that you can go back to these people and talk to them. Now, you not only need the decision makers, you also need the decision influencers. The people around your target. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. So connect to the right people. And you can do also growing your connections. You can do this through, for example, uploading email lists onto your profile. And the other thing also is go to, become well-known and go for well-known people that you need on your LinkedIn profile that will help you in growing your business, and they're within your criteria of connecting. So in our business over here at Maverick, we grow our connections in very specific fields, maybe broader than yours, but we try to keep that. I will not try and grow my connections, for example, with car mechanics or tree surgeons, because we don't do business with them. So it'll be the same as you. Also, in countries where you're going to do business. So if you're not going to do business in Scandinavia, then why grow your connections there? Okay? So now let's move to the thing we're going to focus today, which is going to be about sales conversion. We're going to talk about messages. We're going to talk a little bit about smart links, the calls to actions, and the little micro commitments. Everything you do on LinkedIn to create a relationship, it's also about doing micro commitments. And by that I mean, slowly, without people being aware, you are bringing them closer to you. So that when you start talking about your business, they know what you are all about, and they are happy to talk to you about it. Now, one thing you don't want to do ever on LinkedIn, it's, for example, connect and pitch. And many of you have done that or have gotten that on your email. Someone asks to connect with you, you say yes. 2 seconds later, War and Peace of someone trying to sell you an app or trying to sell you, a webinar or to do a webcast or something like that. You don't want to do that because no one ever succeeds on that. Connect and pitch doesn't work. And funny enough, some of these people, when they do this sort of messaging, they're also doing something else we call, spray and pray, which is, let's talk about everything and let's hope that something sticks. So you're going to learn today how to be very, very specific. Let me then talk to you about the 7 steps of social selling. And this is the basics. And this goes back to the connecting. How should you connect? And as you can see, there are 7 steps here. And these all got a purpose. So imagine you want to connect with me. You need to connect with me so that later on you can do business with me. So one way of doing, first of all, you go to the person's profile, you see a post of this person, and you do a like, you do the first interaction, which is a like, a comment, and tag the person. Okay? And why do you do this? Well, I'll get a message saying that you have liked my post, that you have commented on my post, and better, you mentioned my name, and you mentioned me. And you know what? We are all human beings. When we get a message like that, we go, whoo, what did this person say about me? Let me check it out. So I'll go and see what you said, and now I've seen your face, now I've seen your name, and I've seen what you do. And this is the great thing about this, okay? Because all of a sudden, I know everything about you, all of a sudden. Wait a day or two, and you go back to another post, and you do another like, another comment, saying, Vasco, really enjoy this. I do agree totally with you. So you've commented on it, you've tagged me again, and here I go, see you again. And now I will not forget you. Okay? Does it make sense to you? So, after the second interaction, you wait a day or two, and then you send a connection request. And when you send this connection request, you can put a little nice message with this connection request, one that shows you what you are. Don't ever try and sell anything in any of these messages. No salesy conversation at all here. So you send the connection request. Now I've seen you at least twice. I know your face, I know your name, because I've seen you commenting on my stuff and tagging me and talking. So I'll accept the connection request. You wait a day, and here I'll say wait just 1 day max, and I will thank you for connecting with me. And I'll say, it's great to have connected with you, Vasco. Really, I'm really enjoying or looking forward to reading your posts. And I personally do this. I say, by the way, if you ever need my services or if you ever need to contact me, here are my contact details. And I put my email address, I put my mobile phone, and I put the website of our business. Easy. No sales talk at all. Then I wait a day or two, and I go into another interaction. I like, I comment, and I tag. A day or two, another interaction. I like, I comment, I tag. And I wait another 2 days or 3 days, and then I do what I'm going to show you a little bit later, the pitch, which is not a heavy, salesy pitch. And why? And this is a very important thing. You don't do this because you're not going to try and sell on a message something. what you're going to do is create interest for the person to want to talk to you, to come onto a conversation, so that you face to face on a conference call, you can bring him across the line. This is the way it works in this new digital world. There's no heavy pitch. It's when you start talking to the person, talking about their needs, what they think, they're starting to know more about you, that you'll bring them across the line, and then you take it into a true salesy conversation. Let's put it this way. The other thing is, if you do this, it's going to increase your acceptance rate by 150%, and the message replies is going to, when you get to the end, it's going to increase it by 200%. So one other thing you should bear in mind is that from point 1 to point 7 over here, so from point 1 to point 7, it should take you anything from a minimum of 1 week to 2 weeks. Some people, instead of doing 1 or 2 interactions, will do 3. So some people, after the thanks and intro, would do another 2, 3 messages. That doesn't matter. Remember, you are creating a relationship. You are creating interactions. So this becomes very, very critical and important. So setting up the conversation. Never cold connect. People don't know who you are. So when you do the 7 steps that I showed you before, when you do that 7 steps, you are starting to create a relationship. So never cold connect. Create awareness before you connect. And that's what you're doing when you like, comment, and tag. Then in fact, in a previous webcast, we talked about multi-threading. And multi-threading is about doing loads of things that people see you in many places. Let's see your posts, that you comment on their posts, they comment your feed, they start seeing you more and more frequently. Also, you'll be connecting or trying with other people in the same company, letting them see your stuff. So in a way, you're being seen all over. Create curiosity with your prospects. This is important. People want to know, why? Why him? What does he do? They'll come and see you. And interesting enough, if you go onto your dashboard, for those who have still got the older version, which LinkedIn is slowly changing, it's now on, it's called Analytics, you will see the profile views. Who are the people that are coming and seeing who you are? And you'll probably be surprised of some of these people that are there that you never thought of. So check your analytics section. Also, they should know about you before you message. And if you do the 7 steps, they will certainly know you. They've seen you before. So you are not a stranger anymore. Now, setting up the conversation. It's interesting because it gives you 4 steps over here. It's awareness, it's introduction, it's conversation, and then conversion. And this is the way things flow. You know, awareness by creating engagement, contact, and profile views, and you can see that there. The introduction are the emails, or the connect requests, or the audio messages and video messages. And, you know, you can do these on the app on your phone, do an audio message, you know, because when you send an audio message or, you know, a DM with an audio message, people don't know what's in it. So curiosity takes over, and all of a sudden they go, let me listen to this message. And it creates a great interaction because it's different, and because they can hear your voice and they can relate better to you. Okay? Then you go on to the conversation. You know, be relational. Become a person's person. Educate to converse. Give people some pearls of your knowledge, of what you are and what you do. Do leading questions. Ask open-ended questions that are easy for people to answer you. And importantly, identify the need. Know the pain of your prospects. When you talk to the pain of people, people will relate to that to say, he's talking my language. He knows about my problem. I want to know more. So in your messaging, always be relational. Always try and find out what is their pain. Remember, you want to be the paracetamol to their pain. And if they perceive that from you, they want to know more about you. And then on the conversion. Now, the first line is brilliant. And I'll say this because anybody that's on new business development always tries to rush things, always tries to straight go for the sale. Don't rush. Be patient. I know it's easier said than done, but if you do it, you will get results. Also, know the company. How can you talk to somebody if you don't know what the company does, if you don't know what's their services, their solutions, if you even don't know the person, what they are? What are their targets? What are their goals? Know the pain points, there we go. And if nothing comes from it, leave the door open. You are in a different type of business when you're in new business development. You are a builder of bridges. You're a bridge builder. You're not constructing walls, and you never break the bridge. Leave always the door open. Construct a bridge, leave it there, because you never know what tomorrow might bring. Some people today in this function, in this job, they've got different ideas. Then one day when they move to another company or they start another business, they might need you. So by leaving these doors open, you are helping yourself. And this is why you also have to become relational. And you have to continue to nurture these people even though you haven't sold them anything. So a few conversation starters. In a minute, I'll go on to my personal profile so I can show you a few things. So ask questions when commenting on prospects' content. You can say, I found this very interesting, John. What do you think if I did this or that? For example, tag your prospects in your content. You can write, imagine I wanted to target you. And I do a post. Imagine you're in the financial world and I do a post about some crisis or some good news in the financial world. I don't think there is ever good news in financially, but imagine there is. And I tag you and say, hi John, or I say, John, what do you think of this? And if I don't want to put it on the post itself, maybe I'll make a little comment on my post, and that's the only time I will do a comment on the post, because don't do that, just to tag you, so that you are aware, hang on, he's talking to me. Also, you know, if you've got Sales Navigator, use your email allowance to message people, send them messages. And to your first degree, you can send direct messages. So there's other things like utilizing the send option, which most of you probably don't know, and I'll show you in a minute. Use, as I said previously, text, audio, and video messages. And then sometimes we are going crazy about trying to find information. You know, we want to know who this person is, what is his contact details, and we don't know where to get it. Most of the time, it's in front of you. On anybody's profile, you've got a little blue line that says in contact info. If you click there, you might get the person's email and the person's phone number. I hope all of this is making sense to all of you this evening. So let me just leave this quickly and let's go on to my profile. So I can show you a few things, which I think is going to help you. So for example, I was just talking about contact info, Here it is. And if you click on the contact info, there you go. You haven't got my phone number, but you do have my email. Can you see that? And if you go into anybody's profile, check your prospects, you will see it there. So this might be very, very helpful. So let's talk about creating relations. And one good place to go and do is if you go to notifications, that's where the little bell is. And if you click there, and if you go down the feed, in my case, I've got 9 people that have started new positions, have been promoted. So I'm going to personalize this. And I can go to this first one, Hassan, and I'll click on it. And I'll go. So LinkedIn automatically throws a line, a template line. You don't want to, you want to use that, but you want to personalize it. So in my case, I'll say, congrats, and I'll add Hassan on the new role. All the best in this new professional challenge. I've made this personal now. And I sent him the message. And the great thing about this is that if Hassan likes what he sees, if he's a nice person, probably he is, he'll come back to me because LinkedIn's going to say, Vasco has congratulated you on your promotion. Would you like to say thank you back? And he's going to click on this little button that's going to be given to him, and he's going to say yes. And I get a message saying, Vasco, thank you for congratulating me for my promotion. And you know what I do then? And now I start a conversation. And remember when I started this evening, I said, it's all about conversations, getting people onto calls. So I'll use this as a conversation starter. So when he comes back to me, and then I'll answer him, it's my pleasure, Hassan. By the way, and I like these 2 words, by the way, because then I can go into other things saying, for example, I'll do an open-ended question. Are you guys back at the office? Now remember, Hassan is a person that's within my target because I've connected to him for that reason. So I want to start a conversation with him. So I'll say, are you guys back at the office? Short question, open-ended question. And he'll probably come back to me and say, yes, we are, or we never left. And I'll go, oh, that's great. Very interesting. And I'll start with always open-ended questions, driving the conversation forward. So one of the questions I could ask then is, for example, have you done LinkedIn training recently? In my case, that's important. And he says, no, I haven't. Oh, that's interesting. Would love to talk to you about that. Can I call you on Thursday or will Friday be better? I didn't ask you, can I call you? Because probably the answer will be immediately no. I'm asking, giving him a choice between Thursday and Friday. And maybe he'll come back then to me and say, oh, Thursday's okay. Oh, brilliant. Morning or afternoon? Oh, morning. What is the best number I can call you on if I haven't got the number? Can you see that slowly he's made small commitments without it being aware? He answered these open-ended questions. There are innocent, normal, open-ended questions. And I'm driving the conversation to what I really want, which is get him onto a call so we can have a conversation face-to-face. So using these, so job changes, promotions, birthdays, job anniversaries, or work anniversaries, these are a great opportunity for you to start a conversation, to get the person and drive him from a great conversation into an even greater one on the phone, on a conference call. So I normally do all of these. And you know, I've got an interesting stat for you. Because normally and this all depends on your engaged audience. It also depends on the vertical you're working on. But out of every 10 conversations, you should get 3 to 6 back. And off of those within 1 hour. So imagine if you do 10 of these conversations every day with people, targets that you really want to have a conversation with, you end the week with a good number, a good chunk of prospects that you're starting to talk to, which probably you never had the opportunity before. And the great thing about LinkedIn, as you might remember, is that on LinkedIn, you do not have gatekeepers. It's all about you and your target, you and the decision maker, or you, or the decision influencer. So this is one of the options, is using the notifications and working on those. Now there's another one. And the other one is, let me go to my profile here. Let me just close this. And the other one is right at the bottom of people's profiles. I'll have to get somebody. I'm going to get my colleague Terry. And here he is. And on his, I'm trying to get this to work. There we go. And at the bottom, there's something very, very interesting. Skills. So I can endorse him now, yeah, it's on skills. And what happens? When I endorse Terry, and I go, yeah, click on endorse, and now it's, you know, you just click there. Terry's going to get a message that I've endorsed him for social media marketing. And he's going to get a message saying, would you like to thank Vasco for endorsing you? And he's going to say, probably yes. And when he does that, I'll go back to you and say, oh, Terry, it's my pleasure. By the way, remember those 2 words? And I start a conversation. I'll go back to the same thing. Are you guys back in the office already? And slowly, with open-ended questions, I start driving the conversation to get him onto a conference call with him. I hope all this makes sense to you, and I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. And these are all opportunities, which probably some of you will say, oh, why should I endorse someone I don't know? Let me go back to the beginning of LinkedIn, around 2009, 2010, when this was a recruitment platform. Endorsements then were critical. Now, not so much. But they are a great way for you to start a conversation. And some people will answer back, other people will not answer back. But then, that's the same thing as, you know, in the old days, you used to pick up the phone, ring, you know, do a cold call, and all of a sudden, you know what? They said, no, they don't want to talk to you. So it's the same thing. Some people will be annoyed. Might be. They're also annoyed if you do a cold call. But the vast majority of people will not be indifferent to that. I usually say, you know, we all got a little thing inside us, it's called ego. And we always like our egos to be massaged. And this does that in a way. But it also does something even better. It gets a conversation going. So I've showed you these 2 now. These are great opportunities. The other one is, let me go to Terry here. He's going to be my guinea pig today. Probably he's going to ask you, why were you writing this on my stuff? So I can go to his activity, and, you know, he's done a post. And if I go into his post, let me go into another one. let me go on to this one. The 5 strategies that will increase your sales. And can you see on the right-hand side over here, you've got what I call a little paper plane. It's the send button. I can use this now to target Terry. And if I click on it, what it does, it adds Terry's post to this. So now Terry knows I'm talking about his post. And I have to write out his name. Why? Because I could use this post to target someone else. Imagine it's a theme that I think John will like. So I would use this, put John in there and say, and ask John, I thought this might be interesting for you. What do you think? And start the conversation that way. But now I want to start, in this case, a conversation with Terry. So there it is. And then I say, and I write this as a message, not as an email, as a personal message. And I go, hi Terry, really enjoy this. Whoops. Have you got any other tips? And I send it to him. And now Terry is going to see that I really saw his post, and I'm talking to him and I'm asking him an open-ended question. And with these answers, with open-ended questions, I'm going to drive the conversation slowly onto a conference call where we can talk with each other, and then I can go on to my business side of my relation with Terry. So these little conversations are done because I've created a relationship, in this case with Terry. Terry has already seen my posts. Terry has known that I've tagged him. Terry knows who I am. I appear in his feed. All of this becomes easier. Now, let's go back to something which is, I would say, the most important thing on LinkedIn, posting. If I post every day, Terry, who's connected to me, will see me in his feed. So when I go into these sort of messages, he knows me. You know, I'm no stranger. This isn't a cold call or anything. I'm no stranger. He knows. There's a relationship going there. So that when I do these things, it becomes much, much easier. And going on to the presentation, you will see that in a couple of seconds, we covered everything that we said here. We recommend the following. Always be genuinely interested in prospects or in the prospects and their business, on the person and what they do. Use, if you've got Sales Navigator, and by the way, if you've got Premium, go to Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator is the one you should have. Premium is just slightly better than the free version. So if you're going to get anything, go for Sales Navigator. Use the company information there so that you know more about this person, know more about his business. Ask leading questions and always keep them open-ended. Be patient. As you progress on the conversation, be patient. Don't try and get the person quickly onto a call because you'll kill it. Be patient on that. And so you build slowly towards the pitch. And the pitch is having this conversation over a conference call. So we can look eye in the eye and get things going into what I really wanted to do with this target of mine. Now, there's another thing which is called smart links. Now, probably most of you haven't heard of smart links. Smart links are an addition to Sales Navigator. It's going to cost you an extra cost as Sales Navigator. So the cost of Sales Navigator plus smart links, it's going to be over £100 per month. But there's it's a great tool. And why? Because with smart links, you can know what people are doing with your content, with your PDFs, for example. And let me just quickly show you this. If I go onto my LinkedIn and I go into Sales Navigator, when I get smart links, I get something that says smart links. I click on it, and I've done quite a few to show people. I've got this one here, 4 ways to use LinkedIn to market your startup. And when I posted this, I put on a smart link onto this document. And the smart link tells me who are the people that saw this document. In this case, it was 105 people. Some of them came more than once. So, for example, this person, Shilpa, was there the first time for 4 seconds, but came back and was there for 4 minutes. So I know this person is a person of interest. Now I can message the person saying, "Hi Shilpa, hope you really enjoyed the PDF. Would you like to know more? Or can I send you another one which is blah, blah, blah." I'll say what it is about. And the person will say, "Yes, most probably." And I start my conversation with this person all about this. Always with open-ended questions, always adding something more to it, so that then I can take this person onto a conf call. So smart links, it's an easy thing. I can go here just quickly to show you. I got smart links, new smart link. I can put in the title there. I go and choose the document I want. I could even use a website link. I can use a file of ours. I can go into a document. I choose the document. The moment I do it, I get the smart link, copy it, put it on my post, and there you go. Easy. The great thing about all of this is that I get all this information back, which I know who are the people that have been looking at my stuff, and these are interested people. And if I see the person went back to the document 3 or 4 times, then brilliant. This is a person that's really interested in my stuff. I want to talk to them. So think about smart links. And if you want to know more, I will, at the end of this presentation, I'll give you an email address on this one. Also, if you want to know more about Oxlip and how Oxlip can help you and help your business, underneath here, there is an email address. Email Oxlip and get in touch with them. They will really love to talk to you. They would love to hear from you. So going on, yeah. Now, I hope you enjoyed this evening's presentation. I hope this is helpful. And if you want a copy of this presentation, just email us at imaverick.io. Easy address, and we are more than happy to send you a copy of this presentation. And if you've got any question about it, about this that's more specific to your business, email us. We are more than happy to talk to you about it and help you on that. So remember, if you want to grow your business, if you want to get conversations, do the 7 steps. They are, I would say, critical to the success of the conversations. Let me put it again up. Do the 7 steps. Create relationships. Build bridges. Leave doors open. Make your conversations interactive. Make your conversations not about the business, but about the person. Talk to their pain. And if you do this, if you stop doing, connect and pitch, spray and pray, hopefully that something is going to stick. Put that apart. Do it this way. I'm sure you're going to be very, very successful. I'm sure that you are going to get to where you want with your business. And let me wish you all the best for your business, because if you do this, you are going to be very successful. Have a great evening, and thank you for listening to us.